Once there were two mice.
No, not that again.
Okay, I didn't think of anything to say, so go on.
Excellent, thank you. So first of all, welcome to another episode of Church Mars Chronicles, or otherwise known as Boyan and his buddy. And we would like to welcome you to our new decoration, which we will not comment, just saying it's there. It's no longer empty shelves. Can I even call this shelves?
They're shelvettes.
Shelvettes. So if you like our shelvettes, like, share, subscribe.
And once again, we're asking for
Once again, we're asking for financial support. I can't really like that meme is haunting me.
It's still good even after
perfect.
a week.
It's perfect. I think it's gonna be good after a year.
Oh yeah.
What's
your favorite meme, by the way?
I don't have one.
Really?
No, I don't.
I do.
I think people just went overboard. Just
with memes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just like the internet is like oversaturated with memes. Everything's a meme. Everything can be a meme. Like you take a selfie. God forbid you take a selfie, in an elevator or something.
Icons are memes. Icons are memes.
Icons are memes.
Yeah.
Some of them can be memes, yes.
One of my favorite ones was like, it's a reaction meme to something horrible. Like the icon of Christ. Like, Father, release the horseman.
Your favorite?
No, that's not my favorite. I like that one, but that does... I'm a simple guy with simple pleasures. Like tons of food.
Also, okay. We've lied in this show, but there has never ever been a greater lie than that. Like, I'm a simple guy. Like, cannot be further from the truth.
I wanted to call you out for something, but I forgot what it was. But I will remember it.
You're gonna call me out on something?
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Anywho, my favorite meme is confused math lady.
Oh, okay.
For me, that one's timeless.
Okay.
And especially...
That can be used in...
a lot of situations. That one's my favorite.
Well, this episode is not about memes. Also, this episode could also be called another attempt at better audio.
And at least better video.
Yeah.
We are talking today about miracles.
Miracles. Miracles are actually an important part of Christianity, if you ask me. But if you ask B over here, miracles are, God, can you cancel miracles?
They're unpredictable. That causes chaos. They cause chaos in my pragmatical life.
You are more lies. Pragmatical life. I almost swore. Okay, so he doesn't like miracles simply because he's afraid of them, right?
That's not true.
Perhaps he never actually experienced it himself. There is a difference when you're like a first-hand witness, and I know I've been speaking to a lot of people who are like first-hand witnesses of things you consider miracles.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. I trust this person a lot. You know? And I don't even have to check.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about that in one of our podcasts. I was involved with a miracle. Did not perform one. Cannot do that.
That sure is true. I can teach you. I'm a great wonder worker.
You mean black magic practitioner?
Miracle's a miracle, okay?
Yeah.
Why do you discriminate against miracles?
Hide that Wiccan badge you're wearing.
Black magic matters.
That's wildly inappropriate.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Dear Lord. Look, he's such a simple guy.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually in Orthodox Church, there's a lot of, there's something very specific about, miracles in Orthodox Church. which I haven't seen anywhere else, which is something I could refer to like repetitive miracles, something that's actually reoccurring and people expect it to happen every year. I am aware of 3 different recurring miracles in the Christian Orthodox Church.
I think I know about 2 that you're going to mention.
So you know about the in Greek island of Kefalonia.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
You know about the holy fire in Jerusalem, and did I just forgot number 3?
Yes.
Oh dear God. Yeah. I think that the third one would be the River Jordan changing its flow.
Okay.
You know that? You know about that?
I heard about it, but I didn't hear about it often.
Yeah, I watched the video and I didn't see it, so I could easily not mention that one. No.
Oh, you reminded me of a comedy skit. I can't remember which show it was. But like this historian in front of this huge oak tree, and he's like, this oak tree has been standing here since the dawn of Emperor Augustus. And then he like changes, his angle of the camera, but the tree is always in the background. Like, this tree has been the site of many pagan sacrifices. Mm-hmm. They would bring prisoners here, never innocent victims, and they would slash their throat in honor of pagan deities. Then again, he changes place. After Christendom take its firm hold here, the place was used to execute criminals by hanging. Then again, the changes and like. However, not all of this history is dark, for you see, this tree was also used by a local saint, Saint Walpurgis, and she came here and she lived within its trunk because she hollowed out the trunk, and you can clearly see that the tree is completely whole. Yeah. She hollowed the trunk of the tree and she lived within as a hermit. This is the wrong tree. Or something like that. I remember the punchline, but I don't remember the specific.
I thought it was going to be something like, and today we eat apples in its shadow.
Apples from an oak tree. Well,
they brought it from their homes. It's perfectly fine. There's a joke, like a cow meets a giraffe, and giraffe is sitting on a like cherry tree and eating apples. Like, giraffe, why are you eating apples on a cherry tree? I just brought them from home. It's a perfectly decent explanation. Moving on.
Wait, the joke ended?
Moving on.
I will tutor you in humor.
You'll do what?
I will tutor you in humor.
Oh, because it sounded like I will turtle you.
that also. I don't know what it is, but...
What does that mean?
I don't know. We will find out.
Before I get turtled, I hope that's not like a thing.
I'm actually...
I don't want to know.
I am scared of Googling it.
Hey, Google.
No.
Nothing.
No received.
Excellent. I like that little device. Except when it's just going too broad in defining things. That's new. This has never happened before.
This is your fault.
Look, it had to have happened. I'm not sure where it's ringing though, because the phone is like right here.
I'm so happy that this has happened, because this is something that should happen to me, and he would give me a hell of a time, and now it's happening to him, and I'm so happy. I'm not even saying anything except this.
Yeah, especially because we're gonna cut this part out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, we're not. Go on.
Yeah, okay. We apologize for B's phone ringing.
It's not mine.
Well, it did ring from that side.
Okay, it was me. No.
No, it wasn't you.
Oh,
it was definitely me. I mean, I don't want to.
No, I had a.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not your ringtone. You do know how your phone rings, right?
But like, my mother called me like a minute ago.
But You don't have that ringtone.
I don't know what happened just now.
This episode is gonna be long. I can tell. Anyways, before we delve into these recurring miracles and all other miracles we can think of, especially the ones B doesn't like, it's impolite to do that while doing an episode. By the way,
I'm texting so hard now. I'm not even listening to you.
Okay, it's mom. Before we go into miracles, we might talk about things that are happening to us on a regular basis.
Oh, my mole?
No. Also, not your...
You never let me talk about my moles.
No.
Okay.
No, not about your health issues. Yeah, B is like, oh my God, I have a mole. I must have heart problems.
Each of those things is individually true. Like those two premises. Now that he has spoiled the surprise, I had my mole removed, and
everybody follows your frustrated hands channel.
So but I didn't talk about it there.
You talked about your heart,
but not my mole. I'm saving the best for the podcast. So anyway,
I think it's gonna ring again.
Yeah. So anyway, I was at. I got this little black mole on my right inner thigh, and I thought that it looked suspicious because initially it was very small, but after like 4 weeks, I could notice it relatively easy, even though it was, again, very, very small.
Can you interrupt it for a second?
Yes.
You know, this is supposed to be like an episode about miracles. You know, and I was like, I'm like expecting you to be like, and then I noticed it was shaped as a cross.
No, it's
and
even.
Then it grew.
No, and you're going to see it. No, you're not.
Did you just show your foot in the camera?
Yeah.
This is an awkward episode. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is it the books?
Maybe.
Is it the haunted books?
Maybe.
Or this damned game?
Maybe we should repurpose the episode subject because it's already awkward for an episode about miracles.
No.
So anyway, I went for a checkup, and the doctor said that all of my moles are okay.
All of them?
I have multiple. Everybody has multiple moles.
No, I get that, but that means the checkup was like.
They always check all of your moles. They're not like.
Okay.
Is there any specific mole you're concerned about? Because we're only going to check that one. It's we charge per mole.
That's perfectly fine. It's quantity-based pricing. Perfectly fine.
Anywho, so and only that mole was sort of suspicious, and the doctor said you should have this removed. Okay, so I call a doctor that she recommended, and it turns out that it's a plastic surgeon. Didn't you notice something about me? Okay, you didn't. So anyway, I go to the guy's place. Man, he's loaded. Like, it's a private clinic, but it's like in a strict Belgrade center. It's sort of underground in a sense.
No parking.
Zero parking. And probably very pricey. His clinic is underground in literal sense underground. So it's not an illegal clinic, but literally underground, and it's huge.
Like they repurposed like an atomic shelter.
Sort of, yeah. You maybe. I don't know.
There's a lot of them in Belgrade. By the way.
Well, now there's one less.
They usually convert it to a gym.
Yeah. Well, now if we ever have a nuclear emergency, I can have a boob job.
Yeah.
and blame it on radiation.
As bombs are falling.
Yeah. Why not die pretty? But it would be awkward.
How are you getting it even more awkward? I don't. How?
No. Imagine like I'm ascending through the tall houses, and like demons are watching my huge breasts, and like, like boss, we don't know how to categorize this. It's perfect sin. Anyway, stop interrupting me.
Please continue about your mole.
Yes,
that's what everybody wants to know about. What is this episode? Miracles.
So anyway,
Dear Lord.
By the way, this story won't end in a miracle. It's just a funny story.
Aww.
So the doctor lets me fill out a form in his office, and he leaves.
The doctor lets me feel awkward. That's what I heard.
Okay, so I fill out the form, and while I'm filling out the form, I notice like 2 breast implants sitting on his table, as models, which I completely.
So back to breast implants. Okay.
Yeah, like they're literally on his table, as a model for you
And
too.
they're beautiful.
They literally look like jelly hemispheres. Yeah, and like how in offices you have those trays.
Ashtrays?
No, like trays, document trays.
Okay, yeah.
Like to sign, to fill and so on. And in one of the trays was a small icon of Saint Nectarius. I was like,
okay, and then in the other one a boob.
No, it was like literally 2 decimeters away from him, and I was like, is this the closest a breast implant was to Saint Nectarius apart from a person? I get weird thoughts, okay?
Okay.
I mean, I'm thankful that he was there. It was just very, strange.
I present to you the boob blessed by the icon of Saint Nectarius. Like literally.
Yeah. So anyway, we have the mold removed. It was relatively pricey, and because we were in a operating theater, the guy asked me like, well, how do you feel? And I said, well, this is nonsense. For the money I paid, I expected some drama, like, nurse, we're losing him. Suction, sponge. Bring me the heart zappy thing. How it's called. I can't pronounce it.
Also, the operating theater.
That is how it's called.
It is?
I googled
That
it.
is ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, why did you say operating room?
Because it's literally a theater. You can watch it from the amphitheater.
Oh, you were in a theater.
Well, I wasn't myself because.
Oh, artistic license revoked.
No.
Stop doing that.
Anyway, the place where you do surgeries is
never
called
trust
operating
you.
theater.
I will never trust you again.
Okay, Google operating room, and it will suggest. Did you mean
Another
operating
time.
theater? Anyway, I had my mold removed. I still have stitches. Do you want to see?
No, thank you.
Nobody wants to see
Shaped
those.
like a cross? No, thank you.
Well, stitches are shaped like a cross. Yes, that is why they're called stitches.
No, they're shaped like an X. This is a cross. This is an X. And an X is not a cross.
Okay, so it's called St. Andrew's X. And she lives in Texas, what? Miracle.
Thank you for sharing, B. That was a wonderful mole story.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the most heartwarming mole stories I've ever heard in my life throughout my career.
9 out of 10 moles.
So you happy with the surgery?
I hope so. I should get the results of the mole autopsy.
Biopsy.
Okay. I know it's not autopsy, but I just thought it would be funny.
Since you mentioned it, I just remembered that there's a guy here in Serbia, and he was on TV just recently.
Okay.
He like has a cross on his forehead.
Yeah.
So prime time TV news, right? Interviewing this guy, and he's like, the pillar of calmness, and spirituality. And he has a bloody cross on his forehead.
And they say that we don't have stigmatists.
Yes. He has this red cross on his forehead. He like the news anchor, she even touched it, So it's legit. And he talked about how he would just have that appear at some point, and then from this special day to that special day. I don't know. Is it from like Easter to like?
Okay.
I don't even know.
Okay.
But he ties it to spiritual, big spiritual events, right?
Maybe it's a sign of God that he should do humanitarian work.
Yeah, well, what he says, what he claims is that people get healed when they're close to him. I just think the guy needs money. It's like he found a way, but then I looked at YouTube comments.
Okay.
On a video of that.
Okay.
And I was miserable after reading that.
Why?
Because there were people, you're just jealous because he was
touched by God,
touched by the Lord, and if you knew him, if you only knew him, and like a troll is like, do you know him? No, but I can feel his calm energy, and he's obviously a spiritual creature. Even Father Macarius from monastery XYZ, said that he. I'm like,
does Father Macarius not him? No, but he feels.
Look, it's nothing special. Like, look at this dummy. But then the comments, and you're like, people, are you like, what's wrong with you? There's one thing about Serbia and Christianity in Serbia. The Slavic peoples were hardcore pagans, and a lot of pagan customs still exist today in this or that shape or form, and they are also a part of our Christian tradition. Some of them just merged with some Christian traditions, and
some existing independently.
Yes. So I'm not even surprised when somebody tells me I had this and that problem and I went to a grandma.
Yeah.
Because the grandma, she knows.
Let's just call her witch.
But you gotta say grandma or granny, right? That's kind of how it is referred to here, right?
Well, okay, they say it, but they also say like diviner. Vračara.
Nobody says that.
Vračara.
Nobody says that.
They do say that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they say Baba. Like Baba Yaga, right?
Yeah.
Baba.
Well, they say that, but
I went to a Baba.
Why?
Because that's how they say it. Have you spoken to people who went to Babas? No. Have I spoken to people who went to Babas? Yes.
And they feel so calm.
No, the Babas, they're obviously spiritual creatures.
If you talk like this, you can convince a lot of people of anything. Anything?
Oh, this episode.
Okay, I need to go. When that guy said that people get cured all around him, I need to go full-fledged atheist on this one, but why don't you go to the oncology?
Yeah, that's inappropriate. But then again, you. Are we gonna talk about miracles, or just gonna?
Yeah, sure. No, I thought I was speaking about my everyday experience, the mole. Now you talk about the moles of your life.
Yeah, this is totally not going to be about miracles. Okay, so this week was...
It's a miracle of patience. Okay, it's not a miracle of patience.
Lord, grant me the gift of patience for example.
Okay.
Yeah, like I need it. I mean, you need a decent package of patience for me as well, right?
Considerably less than you of me.
Yeah, that's correct, but still, it's a big package. I had a wonderful week. A wonderful week.
The sarcasm will fry the circuits.
When there's certain temptations that you have in life in this or that phase, but at one point they're just gone, right? You can attribute that to any sort of, to anything really.
True.
You rising spiritual, you maturing as a person, just God being nice to you, because He can, right? But then, just like that, they return. and it's like, who am I? That's pretty much my week. Like, things are happening to me. I don't know what's going on. Like,
give us the gory details.
The gory details. I almost got into a fight.
Okay.
Which didn't happen for like a decade. I was this close to get into a fight.
Okay.
And thank God nothing happened. I was interrupted during lunch.
Okay, now that you say it in front of camera, it sounds so bad. When you because he called me during my work hours, and supposedly his.
I just had to scream somewhere.
Yeah, and he screamed at me, and when he screamed at me, it sounded so serious. But now that he says my lunch was interrupted, it sounds like, wow.
Okay, I need to go into details because otherwise I'm gonna look bad.
There's this Catholic saint,
Saint look bad.
Saint Giuseppe something. I think
Okay.
he formed, for example, the Congregation of the Most Holy Blood or something.
Okay.
I think that it was him. So anyway, he was complaining in front of a crucifix about his problems.
Well, that's everyday me.
Yeah.
Literally.
And he had a vision of Christ upon the cross, and he said like something along the lines of, share more of your problems with me. I appreciate the humor.
Oh dear Lord. Okay.
So your lunch was interrupted.
No, come on. Don't be like that. That's pure evil right now, and I'm blushing.
By the way, I get
I'm
annoyed.
cutting this part out.
No. I get annoyed at least as much as he does. That's true.
Yeah.
But the way he complains, it's just a perfect camera moment. Go on.
Yeah. So my company, we got an office very close to a company I used to work with, and the guys are still there, and we're still decent friends and all that. And even my Godfather works there. So a couple of days ago, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday. I was like, hey, Godfather, let's go grab lunch together. And he brings the entire company. So we haven't seen each other for some time. It's a fantastic moment. But the Great Lent is about to begin in like a week or so. And what every decent Orthodox Christian does before Lent, you eat stuff. You eat the good stuff. You eat the best stuff, right?
It was the goodest of the stuff. It was the bestest.
The
of the
bestest
stuff.
of the stuff. It was the stuff, right?
It was the stuffest of the stuff.
It was a budkica.
We cannot translate this term.
No, it's not translatable.
We can say pig thigh, but
It could, but it's not that.
It's like saying Theotokos instead of Bogorodica.
Yeah,
It is the same word,
Yeah.
but it doesn't carry the warmth.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Sort of similar with. I don't want to compare because it's.
So, finally, we get together, and we order 2 portions of sweet, fatty budkica.
Yes.
And I dig in. And during my second bite, my phone rings. And by the way, when it's lunchtime, I am not answering my phone unless it's the wife.
Guess who it was?
Guess who it was? And immediately as I see her name, I'm like, something must have happened to spoil this lunch. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm having lunch. I'm trying to like immediately get the fact to her attention that I'm having lunch and I don't want to be interrupted. Like that's how. But guys, it's honest, you can't imagine. It's like the bestest of the best meals you can have, literally. And she's like,
okay, sorry, guys. To understand the severity of this situation, try going vegan for 2 months, and then try it again next year. And see how your last meat meal would taste like before doing 2 months of going vegan again. Yeah. And you will understand how this budkica was important.
Yeah, or your last meal before you get electrocuted or something. So it was that important. But as soon as I said that, she was like, M, take it easy, but our child fell, and she's bleeding everywhere,
And M's like,
and I'm like Midbite, which I was okay. And by the way, she was panicking because our older older kid, she already like fell in the exact same way, almost the exact same way, and she cut that little thread that keeps your upper lip connected to your in your mouth, and it was very dramatic, even though it's really really not.
but
She's a child. It just grows
Yeah.
back. Like
their
it's
arms
nothing.
grow back.
It's nothing, but there's so much blood. You're like panicking. You don't know what to do. You're like calling the ambulance. Driving the kid. So this was kind of the same moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm coming, because. And before that, I found a perfect parking spot.
Those are priceless in Belgrade.
No, here where the office is, this is like a 3 parking spot, a 3-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfection. So I'm talking about a perfect parking spot, a perfect lunch with decent friends, right? I mean, I love my Godfather, but he's not perfect. I love you, dude. So I rush. I just like, I just drink my water, and I just go. And people were like disappointed and all that, but it is what it is. I walk very fast to my car. I get there. Turns out that as I was driving, the kid's bleeding just stopped, and everything's fine. No, everything's perfectly fine. Yeah, she hit her head and all that, and there was blood because she hit it very hard. And there's, she was bleeding a bit from her mouth, and that's it. Like the kid was shaking. The kid loved the fact that I was there. She grabbed me immediately, and she like fell asleep on my shoulder. But that was
smearing blood everywhere.
But that was it. Like that was it. But I also had to pay for lunch, and I left too much money. So when things go bad, then I like, for example, yesterday. Then during the evening, I went to practice, and I really got my ass kicked, real bad. Like everything hurts, hurts, and I was like, how am I gonna be able to sleep? But then my toe started hurting, and I was like, look, God, please don't let it be an ingrown nail. God, please don't let it be an ingrown nail. Of course it's an ingrown nail.
Okay. Oh no, an ingrown nail. My nails hurt a lot.
Pun intended.
Okay, this is horrible, but I couldn't resist.
It's awful.
But an ingrown nail.
There was a blasphemy alarm going off somewhere over there, and your face is red.
but also an ingrown nail alert.
Highlight. Molar alert.
But I wasn't exactly praying for the mole emergency, unless it's melanoma. Check that.
It was an ingrown nail. So I started digging. Obviously, I was like nurse, scalpel. I take care of those things myself. I don't need a pedicure like some people.
You just said that like I go to a pedicure.
Don't you?
No, why would I go to pedicure?
Oh, okay. That's my thoughts as well. So and in the attempt to handle the situation, I
cut off my toe.
I kind of destroyed my toe, and it hurt. So I slept only 2 hours because I woke up in pain like a million times. And
if only you went to a pedicure like I do.
No, but here's the thing. Today, like in the morning, I booked table tennis. Like 2 hours. Yeah, but look. I booked 2 hours of table tennis. Not only that, but when I booked it at the beginning of the week, this is a wonderful week. I booked it with the idea of going with a friend. He's like a great, he used to, train table tennis, and when we play, it's really, very competitive, blah, blah, blah. But then he cancels on me, and the guy and these guys who from whom I rent this, and it costs a lot of money and all that, because it's a very fancy place, blah, blah, blah. And these guys are like very serious. They're like, if you don't show up, you're gonna be sorry. And it's really, they don't wanna book you anymore if you do that. So then I switched. I was like, I asked my wife, do you want to go with me to table tennis? Especially because it's like, I was like, that's your gift for, Valentine's Day.
Oh God!
She loved it, but she loved it.
That's
No, we
my spleen.
We joke on it. It's such a joke. But then because we have the baby, I had to call my dad and get and reserve his time so that he come with us to like keep the baby for a bit.
Yeah.
And it was like I'm talking about an entire like process that
I can't wait until the part where you play table tennis with a messed up ingrown nail.
I did. I totally did that. And it hurts like but it is what it is. At least I played and it was wonderful, and my wife was super happy.
And now I'm walking on one foot.
No, it's a bit of a challenge, but I might have to actually go to a pedicure or something. I don't know. I'll try home remedies and all that. But anyways, but I didn't sleep and all that, and my business partner, kind of woke me up at like 1 a.m. That's when I initially, was able to get some sleep, and then he woke me up, and all hell broke loose. I'm talking like this week has been so challenging. I'm just scratching the surface with these tales and adventures and all that. But yeah, we're actually gonna name this episode completely differently. That one time when mice wanted to talk about miracles, but ended up talking about moles. And
nails.
And ingrown nails.
But moles and nails.
Moles and toes. Moles and toes.
Oh, just call it like that. Moles and toes.
Moles and toes.
Nothing else. Moles and
Mazel
toes.
tov.
Mazel tov. It will confuse our Jewish audience.
This is our creative process, guys.
Yeah, get used to it.
Yes, you just got a bite of it. And also a completely ridiculous episode.
But a good one.
I want to end it now.
Okay.
Please end it. End it. Cut. Fin. Konec. Special effects? Nothing? Nothing?
You're the editor guy.
You know what I wanted to like pull off, but I couldn't?
What?
Like I wanted to like you see Munchkin, the board game?
Yeah.
I wanted to put something behind it and like shake the wall so that it falls in your head. But anything I've tried to like set it up, it just didn't work. It would have been a perfect moment in the episode.
Like, are you literally setting up a Home Alone trap for me, or?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I thought you were going to ask me, are you literally 7? Like 7 years old? It is like a
you are.
Prank. Guys, thank you for being a part of our show.
And moles.
And toes. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Before we leave, guys, once again, we're asking for your... Oh, Bernie. It is what it is.
People will think that we're endorsing him while we just find him funny.
People are going to be thinking what people are going to be thinking.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like we're going to change somebody's vote. We're not Russians.
We hack your computers.
We not Russian.
Sorry.
Okay, we Russian.
Sorry. I mean, I have to describe it. It was so funny. Like a psychiatrist. Like in psychiatrist in his what do you call a place where he works?
A psychiatrist's office.
In his office, okay, and there's a woman on the bed, and he's like, holding a ledger, and he's like talking to her. And these Russians, are they in the room with us right now? It was so good.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
Bye. Very Russian bye.
Ciao.
Oh, yeah. Next episode, mice speak in Serbia. No, mice speaking tongues.
and like for an hour, we're just, making up language.
Isn't that what? Okay.
Well, it's their fault if they don't have the gift of interpretation.
Exactly. Or the spell reserved somewhere.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Sad je sve gotovo. Aj čekaj, ja ću kao da pijem vodu i tako počnem. Ajde.